Hello, Creative Gems. Welcome back to Creativity. And if you're new here, I'm Sandy. Today we're going to use this dollar store charger plate and make a one-of-a-kind wall sconce that will glam up your wall. This silver charger plate has a slight reflective finish and will be perfect as a backdrop to reflect the light from the wall sconce we're making. To begin, I'm just snipping off a couple of pieces of double-sided mounting tape. This tape is much thicker than regular double-sided Scotch tape, and I usually use this to add extra tackiness to heavier things that I want to secure. These heavy-duty double-sided tape pieces are just going to be something temporary, but I like the fact that it is clear because we'll be attaching two of these clear plastic vases to the charger plate. These cylindrical vases are tall, measuring 11 inches each, so this wall sconce is really going to be a beautiful statement piece by the time we're done. So I'm going to place two of these vases perpendicular to the charger plate, and they're going to be about 6 inches or so apart. If you want, you could choose to bring them closer together or farther apart. It's really up to you. Now, we're not done with this charger plate and these vases yet, but we're going to set them aside for a moment because we're going to figure out a way to better secure those vases so that when we hang the whole thing up on the wall, they won't fall down. For that, I'm going to take apart two of these solar garden sticks. And normally I would attach two of these solar garden sticks together like this with the black stake inside, but we're not going to do that today, and I'll show you shortly why. But for now, I have removed the black stake and we're just going to apply some Fix-All all around the opening of one of the sticks. The two sticks will not secure together immediately though, because Fix-All takes hours to fully cure. So I'm also going to go back in and add some hot glue to the outside seams between the two sticks. And by the way, Dollar Tree sells a large selection of these solar garden sticks, but the ones I have chosen are the ones with the metal sticks that have a silver chrome finish. I think this finish will give our wall sconce a more upscale look, but if you have only the ones with the black sticks, those will do as well. Once the hot glue has cooled down, I'll go back in and cover up the glue marks with this beautiful silver rhinestone ribbon. This ribbon is self-adhesive and in fact it's extremely sticky, so it will add extra reinforcement to keep the two solar garden sticks together. And by the way, if you're wondering where to get this ribbon, I'll have links to all of my favorite crafting tools and supplies down in the description box. Okay, so now with that done, we're going to take several of these white nylon cable ties and we're going to link several of them together. And while we work on that, I would like to take a moment to thank you for tuning in to today's craft project. If you enjoy glam home decor and DIY crafts on a budget, please help me grow my channel by hitting that subscribe button. And if you like what you see today, please give me a thumbs up as well so the YouTube gods will continue to recommend my channel to other viewers like you. And the best part is subscribing and giving me a thumbs up is absolutely free, but will make a world of difference to me and my channel. I now have about 5 or 6 of these cable ties linked together, so we're going to use a good pair of scissors to snip off the excess ends so that they don't get in the way. Now we're going to take one end and feed it through one end of the solar garden sticks we worked on earlier. We'll keep pushing it through the hole until it comes out on the other end. And once you see it come out through the other end, pull it through until you have an even amount of nylon cable tie sticking out from both ends of the solar garden sticks. And now comes the slightly tricky part. We're going to take the charger plate with the two vases adhered to it, and we're going to wrap this entire solar garden stick around the front of the vases. And after trying to do this a few times, I found the easiest way is to simply take the charger plate and place it upside down so the vases sit directly on the table surface below the charger plate. And then we'll grab the solar garden sticks, lift up the vases just enough to slip the solar garden sticks underneath, and then grab each end of the nylon cable ties and secure them together. And here's really where things for me kind of fell apart. If you're interested to see how I messed up this part, I cut all that footage out from this section of the video and moved the messy parts, so if you stay till the very end of this video, you'll get to see some funny goof ups and bloopers. Fortunately, after a few tries, I was able to figure out how to fix my mess ups, and now I'm going to take my trusty fix-all and apply some onto the bottom of the charger plate where each vase will make contact with the plate. This will add that extra hold that I want to ensure that the wall sconce will stay intact when it's hung. And if you're still with me, drop me a note in the comments and let me know if you have ever messed up a craft project before. And if you have, what do you do when you mess up a craft? Do you try to fix it? Do you start over again? Or do you toss in the towel and give up? For me, I like to plan a bit ahead of time when a craft project requires precise measurements. And sometimes I make a prototype ahead of time if it's a more complicated craft. But for the most part, I just jump right in and roll with the punches. And with that said, I was able to fix up my messes, and now the vases are secured to the charger plate. Between the nylon cable ties and the fix-all we applied, these vases are not moving and they're not going anywhere. And now I've turned the charger plate again face down because we're going to add a little hook to the back of the charger plate so we can hang this when we're done. And in retrospect, that's probably the first thing that I should have done. But like I said before, sometimes when you don't plan ahead, you just got to roll with the punches. Here I've taken apart a small picture frame from the dollar store. I removed the cardboard backing so I can cut out one of the metal hooks. I'll leave about a centimeter of cardboard around the hook because we'll be applying some fix-all and hot glue to it. The fix-all will provide a very strong hold and the hot glue will cool and dry almost immediately so we can continue with our craft project without having to wait overnight for the fix-all to fully cure. We'll then place the hook in the center towards the edge of the base. Once the hot glue dries completely, you can be certain that the hook is secured tightly to the plate and it won't go anywhere. And with that said, let's go ahead and carefully turn this whole thing right side up. So with the white nylon cable ties, it doesn't really look that pretty, so we're going to solve that problem by feeding this chrome card trim through the solar garden sticks. The chrome card trim has a self-adhesive backing, so we can actually adhere it directly onto the white nylon cable ties and cover it up completely. We'll continue to feed the card trim all the way through until it reaches the center back of the charger plate. Once everything is secured, we can once again turn this over face up. And by the way, you may have noticed that the solar garden sticks are no longer straight, but rather they bow out a bit from the center. That's because I didn't let the fix-all to fully cure when I was tightening the nylon cable ties around the back of the charger plate earlier. I actually tightened it too much, causing the two solar garden sticks to come slightly apart. But because I added the silver rhinestone ribbon to cover up the seams between the two solar garden sticks, the ribbon is actually doing an excellent job in keeping the sticks together. That's because the adhesive on the rhinestone ribbon is extremely sticky and strong, so those two sticks will not come apart. So in fact, the rhinestone ribbon, being so beautiful as it is actually doing double duty. It's a beautiful embellishment, but it's also serving a functional purpose by keeping our wall sconce intact. And here I'm just using the same rhinestone ribbon to embellish the vases. It also gives the wall sconce a nice design element. And if you're still with me, drop me a note with the word wall sconce so I know you dropped by today. And if you're feeling extra special, I would love to know if you prefer wall sconces or table lamps when decorating your home. Now, before we finish off the wall scones, I want to add another design element to it. I picked up a couple of these beautiful pens from the Dollar Tree. I really love the big pearl on the top of the pen, so I want to incorporate it into the wall scones design. First, we're going to remove the tip of the pen where the ink comes out. Then we're going to adhere the rest of the pen to the bottom center of each vase. For this step, I found the easiest way was to stand the vases upside down and then place the pen onto the bottom of the vase. I'm applying a bit of hot glue all around where the pen and the vase make contact. But because this is causing ugly glue marks, I'm going to cover up the glue by adhering a short strand of silver beaded necklace all around the pen as well. And if you're still with me, drop me a note with the words wall sconce and let me know if you have ever tried to make a wall sconce before. And if you have, did you go for silver, gold, or some other color theme? The two pens are now secured to the vases, but with all the hot glue I used, we're left with a lot of nasty glue strings. So a little hack I use to remove the glue strings is to brush them off with a dry bristle paintbrush. It's certainly much easier and faster than trying to pick off those glue strings with your fingers. And sometimes if you have any moisture on your fingers, it actually gets transferred to the glue strings, and then it actually makes it more difficult to remove them cleanly because the oils from your fingers actually help to bind the glue strings to the object you're trying to remove them from. Once the glue strings are removed, there's really only one last step to complete the wall sconce, and that's the light source. For mine, I'm going to use these little battery operated LED lamps from the Dollar Tree. There's a power switch on the top of each lampshade that is very convenient to access. Of course, if you don't have any of these, you could either slip a really tall candle inside each vase or stuff each vase with some fairy lights. And with that said, here's the final look for our charger plate double wall sconce. I think this design is so unique and it's definitely one of a kind. Of course, if you like this design, please go ahead and make one for yourself too, and let me know in the comments section how it turns out. In the meantime, I hope you stick around and check out some of my other glam home decor crafts. And as promised, stay till the very end to watch some outtakes of some silly goof ups I did while making this wall sconce.